The Royal Rumble is just a few short days away, and that only means one thing. The road to WrestleMania begins again. This time around, it is going to be one of the most unique Royal Rumble events of all time. Excuse me, for several reasons. For one, it is going to be taking place, in the kingdom in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Riyadh, which will make things even more interesting for the road to WrestleMania. But the second reason is actually the first match that I'm going to be talking about here on the channel in this video, which will be AJ Styles versus Gunther, where AJ Styles' career will be on the line. This is by far one of the dumbest things that AJ Styles has ever done throughout his entire career. AJ Styles debuted in WWE at the same event, the Royal Rumble, in 2016, 10 years ago. Since then, AJ Styles has won 2 WWE titles. He's won 3 United States titles. He's won 2 tag team titles. And he's also won the Intercontinental title, making him a Grand Slam champion. Obviously, he has not done a lot he's done a lot in WWE, but there are several things that he has yet to do. One is win Money in the Bank. The other is win the Royal Rumble. Interestingly enough, this match took place pretty much after Gunther made John Cena tap out last month at Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. Gunther kept disrespecting John Cena, saying that he made Cena tap out like a little bitch. AJ Styles took offense to that, and they decided to have a match on Raw a few weeks ago. Then we found out in that match that AJ Styles made Gunther tap out, but it did not count by the referee's discretion, and Gunther picked up the win over the Phenomenal One. AJ Styles demanded a rematch, but Gunther said you can get that rematch only if you put your career on the line. This was a very dumb decision by Styles, because he accepted the offer. Because if AJ Styles loses, he must retire from professional wrestling. However, there's been a lot of however, we found out recently that AJ Styles' contract with WWE is set to expire at midnight on the night of the Royal Rumble, which means many people believe that this will indeed be AJ Styles' last match in WWE, and he is going to retire. However, there's also been other rumors as well that AJ Styles has signed a new deal with WWE, which will make this his final deal signed in professional wrestling. This is actually by far the biggest challenge in the career of AJ Styles, and here's the reason. Throughout the entire time that Gunther had been in WWE, whether he was on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or NXT UK, it did not matter. 85% of the time, he has walked into a match as champion, and he has won damn near every single one of his matches. He's only lost 4 or 5 times in singles competition. One of those matches that he lost was against none other than Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov became the first man to defeat Gunther in one-on-one competition. Braun Breaker became the second. Sami Zayn became the third, and if I remember correctly, Jey Uso became the fourth, and CM Punk became the most recent, which means that history is on the side of the ring general. Many people believe that Gunther is the odds-on favorite to win this matchup against AJ Styles this coming Saturday. However, those same fans also don't want to see AJ Styles lose at the same time. So, who wins? Honestly, it's hard to say because we've now moved past damn near the first month of 2026, and already a lot has happened. Already a lot has happened in WWE. One of those things was seeing Cody Rhodes lose the WWE title to Drew McIntyre in 3 stages of hell, thanks in part to the return of the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu. Another thing is that Cody Rhodes has once again declared himself for the Men's Royal Rumble because Drew McIntyre put a clause in their contract signing for no rematches for said WWE title. The reason being is because Drew McIntyre knew that if Cody Rhodes did indeed get that rematch, Drew McIntyre would end up being a transitional champion, much like he was when he was the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania 40 a couple of years ago. So, with all of that, what's next for AJ Styles if he wins? Well, for one, he puts himself in the match for the Men's Royal Rumble. And he will have an opportunity to become World Heavyweight Champion one more time in WWE. However, it's as I stated before, AJ Styles is a 2-time WWE champion, but he has never held the World Heavyweight title in his entire career in WWE. So what better way to cap off a legendary career than by seeing AJ Styles become world champion for a 3rd time in the form of the World Heavyweight title? What happens if he loses? Well, obviously, yes, AJ Styles must retire, but is he really going to retire? I don't think so. Reason being, it's because of the fact that there's another promotion. Obviously, you guys are very familiar with it, called AEW, I think it's called. Again, I don't watch AEW or any of that bullshit. It's from what I've seen on social media, where he could end up working with AEW and staying there forever, which is pretty possible. But we also saw as well, and from what I had seen in a clip on social media, AJ Styles appeared on TNA, on the TNA premiere, if you will, on AMC, and had his eyes on the TNA World Heavyweight title, now currently being held by Frankie Kazarian, who is a TNA legend in his own right. So there are possibilities, but because that AJ Styles wants a year-long retirement tour, he's gonna do whatever it takes to become a WWE superstar again and continue his retirement tour, because again, January 1st of this month marked basically the start of AJ Styles' year-long retirement tour, because he admitted that 2026, this year, was going to be the year that AJ Styles would retire from professional wrestling. What does that mean for AJ Styles? The possibilities are out there, but we could potentially see AJ Styles work with WWE just behind the scenes, which is possible, but we'll have to wait and see. But as far as my predictions go, don't get me wrong, we've seen Gunther overcome so many different obstacles throughout his career, including the obstacle of defeating Damian Priest for the world heavyweight title, winning King of the Ring, triple threat matches. He's overcome everything. But this is one that I don't think he's going to overcome, because this is a much more determined version of AJ Styles that we've seen in a long time. So if I was a betting man, I would put my money on AJ Styles. This now brings us, speaking of world champions, this brings us to the WWE title between Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. This past Saturday, Sami Zayn defeated Randy Orton, Damian Priest, and Trick Williams in a fatal four-way to become the number one contender to the WWE title. This gives Sami Zayn home field advantage, because let's not forget Sami Zayn is Syrian descent, which means that he's able to show up to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and do what he loves, which is awesome, because if you guys don't know, historically speaking, he hasn't been able to. When WWE first started the partnership with Saudi Arabia back in 2018, I want to say, Sami Zayn couldn't show up to those events for several reasons, to which I can't really touch on unfortunately. But because that those issues got resolved, Sami Zayn, the last year and a half now, last couple years, he's been able to the last 3 years actually. The last 3 years, Sami Zayn's been able to show up to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and do what he loves, which is performing in front of the WWE Universe. This is by far the biggest challenge of Sami Zayn's career, because one thing that Drew McIntyre is right on is the fact that Sami Zayn has not been able to defeat Drew McIntyre in one-on-one competition, because of the fact that Drew McIntyre has just been 10 times better than Sami Zayn. But think about this. Sami Zayn is undefeated in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Every single match that he had been a part of in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he has won. One of those matches was a big tag team match, which main evented Night of Champions in 2023, when he and Kevin Owens defended the then undisputed tag team titles against the Bloodlines, Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns, who was the WWE champion at the time. And it was because of the Usos that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were able to pick up the victory over Solo Sikoa and the OTC. Oh, excuse me. Sorry guys, I feel like I'm about to belch, but I can't. Anyway, another match took place that very same year at Crown Jewel in Riyadh against J.D. McDonough, who was trying to be a part of the Judgment Day. So Sami Zayn, he's had a lot of success in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, but is he going to succeed this time around? And honestly, as crazy as it sounds, the answer is no. The reason being is because Drew McIntyre is going to do whatever it takes to retain the WWE title. Even if he has to get inside the head of Sami Zayn, he is going to do exactly that. One thing that we've learned from the battles that these two had against one another, it's that Drew McIntyre was always at least 2 or 3 steps ahead of Sami Zayn. And every time these two men would go at it one-on-one, the end result would always be the same. Drew McIntyre on top, Sami Zayn looking at the lights. Plain simple. Let's just be real. As much as I know that everybody wants to see Sami Zayn become WWE champion, it's going to be all eyes on Drew McIntyre retaining the WWE title. So my money's going to be on Drew McIntyre. Which now brings us to the men's and the women's Royal Rumble match. And for those who are new to watching WWE, the rules of the Royal Rumble are very, very simple. The superstars who drew numbers 1 and 2 will start the match. Every 90 seconds, another superstar enters the match, and this goes on until all 30 men and women respectively have entered the Royal Rumble match. Eliminations occur by being when you are thrown over the top with both feet touching the floor. The last man and woman standing will main event WrestleMania against the champion of their choosing. So for the women, they have a choice of either challenging Stephanie Vaquera for the women's world title or challenging Jade Cargill and the WWE women's title. And on the men's side, they can choose to challenge either CM Punk and the world heavyweight title, or challenge Drew McIntyre and the WWE title. However, here's the plot twist, right? If you go back to 2020, right before the pandemic, Charlotte Flair made history by being the first superstar to challenge, to win the Royal Rumble and use that opportunity to challenge for an NXT championship, which was historic. That right there was just history on its own. As of now, we know that all the members of the Judgment Day are going to be involved. Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, and I believe Dominic Mysterio was scheduled to be in the match. We know that Rey Mysterio is going to be in it. We know that the women's tag team champions Rhea and Io Sky are going to be in the match. So there are so many. This is probably going to be by far one of the most stacked Rumble matches in WWE history. And we're also going to be seeing the return of the OTC Roman Reigns and the long anticipated debut of Oba Femi, who is now a former 2-time NXT champion. So Oba Femi can do a lot of damage in the men's Royal Rumble match. But this is one thing. But this is one match. These are the 2 matches where I can't really predict who wins, because right now, with everybody with the 30 slots now being filled, or have been filled already, there's really no telling what. Excuse me. There's really no telling who's gonna be who will be the odds-on favorite, right? Like right now, on the men's side, the odds-on favorites are going to be Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Sami Zayn. Think about that, right? Think about that. 4 of WWE's biggest stars are going to be the odds-on favorite on the men's side of the Royal Rumble match. Excuse me. On the women's side, the odds-on favorite is Liv Morgan because of the fact that excuse me. The last several years, Liv Morgan has always been the runner-up in the women's Royal Rumble match, whether it was against Bayley or whether it was against Rhea Ripley. It did not matter. She was always the runner-up because she would always get so close, but so far away from main eventing WrestleMania. And this is going to be one of the most insane Royal Rumble matches of all time because of the fact that it's going to be in Riyadh. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on this Saturday. But who wins? The question is, who wins? Honestly, it's hard to say. It's hard to say who wins because we don't know who will be in the Final Four. Basically, so I cannot predict. What I can say is that whoever wins the Royal Rumble matches are going to have a very difficult decision. Because here's the thing, right? If Sami or Cody win, they're going to go after Drew McIntyre and the WWE title. If Jey Uso wins, 100% he's going after the World Heavyweight title. But what about Roman Reigns? What does he do? Does he go after CM Punk? Or does he go after Drew McIntyre? Because the thing is, he's beaten both men before in the past. So what does Roman do? My opinion, he would probably go after the World Heavyweight title because of the fact that he's already been WWE champion before, so there's no point in him getting that title opportunity. But let's also not forget Roman never got his rematch for the WWE title. So who knows? I mean the possibilities are out there, but we'll have to wait and see. But let me know down in the comments below your predictions for the Royal Rumble and who you believe should win the men's and the women's Royal Rumble matches and why. Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.